I think the current gratitude practices that everybody preaches, I think they suck. You're supposed to be done with this and feel like you just took like an emotional shower, okay? Hello. Welcome back to the forest. My name is Jess, and this is Casual Clarity. Today, we're taking a hike on Topsy Turvy Trail, which is all about ADHD and spirituality. So today, we're talking about gratitude. Now, gratitude is one of the most common things talked about in like self-help and blah, 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 but nobody seems to be grateful. The main thing that I have found with the gratitude practices that are out there is that none of them actually make me feel grateful. So I'm going to share with you a practice that you might actually feel something from. The gratitude exercises that I see out there, the most common everybody knows about is 3 things I'm grateful for. And you write it down every day and you put it in your planner that you use for like 4 days and then you never touch again. Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I started that. I tried to use an app. It would give me a notification. Then I ignored the notification every single day for like 500 days until I finally turned the notifications off for the app. But I left it there because every time I get this notification, it'll remind me that that's something I want to do until I finally give up and say I'm never going to do it. And I probably would have done it if it actually made me feel something. But writing down, just like listing 3 things I'm grateful for really didn't give me any type of feeling. I don't know if this is like the same for everybody, but definitely for me, there wasn't any novelty to it. There's nothing interesting about it. It doesn't really encourage you to think deeply about these things or what it is that you're grateful for about them. So I think they just suck. I think the current gratitude practices that everybody preaches, I think they suck. So this practice that we're talking about, I call it the Gratitude Rampage. It's inspired by the Rampage of Appreciation from Abraham Hicks. And it's just a rampage. So the ADHD, like running mind, the never-ending thoughts can be really actually a benefit here. So the Gratitude Rampage, the reason it makes you feel something is because you're going to end up listing maybe over 100 things you're grateful for. And you don't have to go in depth about what you're grateful for them for. You just have to list them basically as quickly as possible and allow your stream of consciousness to do the work. Because in all reality, every single thing you interact with is something worth being grateful for. So by the end of it, you are going to feel flooded. You're going to have fun. And you can do this out loud. You can do it in writing, but I don't think my hands can write fast enough for it to work the same way. You could type if you've got a really fast words per minute number, or you could do it in your head even if you have to. But I find the most fun and the most impact when I do it out loud. I really like to do it when I'm driving with like some like music that feels inspiring to me that doesn't have words. That's like the perfect time for me. So I think that the best thing I can do to share this practice with you is to just do one right now and then kind of break it down after. So I'm just going to do it right now. I typically start with something that's in front of me. So right now, I'm feeling really grateful for this microphone and for my cell phone and for the pop socket that's on it that lets me hold it even though it's broken. I'm really grateful for all of this equipment here and the technology that's allowed me to even record this video in the first place and whoever's on the other end of this video. And I'm grateful for my own self-growth that's allowed me to plan and design this channel and these videos. I'm grateful for the fact that I'm sitting in this room in a home that I get to live in and have protection from the weather and from nasty June bugs that are everywhere. And I'm grateful for the window that I get to have it open and allow the fresh air to come through and I can hear the birds. I'm grateful for my cats who love to sit in the window. I love that they're soft. I love that they're warm. I love that they purr. I love when they cuddle. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm so grateful for the experiences I've had being a mother and the ways that has allowed me to grow. I'm grateful for... Okay, so what just happened now is I got stuck. When you get stuck, there's a couple things you can do. I will recenter and come back to something that's directly in front of me, even though it might seem more silly than whatever I was in. So I got into my family and my kids. So when you get stuck like that, you might bring it back to, my office chair is in front of me. You might bring it back to something as simple as your office chair. And I want you to not see that as a failure. If you get stuck, your stream of consciousness kind of, it halts. For whatever reason, it halts. Come back center. If you're in the car, come back. Maybe it's the air freshener hanging on your mirror. Reset. Don't spend a single moment feeling stupid or feeling silly or feeling like you are somehow dishonoring anything by coming back to center and being grateful for another small item. So I would come back and I would maybe focus on my office chair. I'm grateful for my office chair, and I'm grateful for whoever made the cushioning that sits inside of there, and I'm grateful that I lost weight so that I can sit crisscross applesauce inside of it again, which is so comfortable. And I'm grateful that I get to sit in that chair crisscross applesauce while I work from home. Even though it's a really hard job, I love it. I appreciate it. I feel fulfilled. I feel like I'm valuable. I'm grateful for the computer that I have that I get to use. I'm grateful for my screen extender because that makes my life so much better. I'm grateful for my freaking notebooks, for my pen, for my highlighters, for everything I got on my desk, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that could lead me into, more. So that is an example of the Gratitude Rampage. Maybe not the best example, I don't know, but there really is no best example. Just doing it is the point, and it will feel better and better every time you do it. So I just want to put a few tips in here of how to use this practice more effectively, or just to make sure you're able to do it at all. So the first tip, number 1, is, like I said, just start with what's in front of you and let your stream of oh my gosh, I can't talk. Start with what's in front of you and let your stream of consciousness take control. Like I said, this is where ADHD minds, you could probably go on. You could probably go on for hours, honestly. The second tip is, don't overthink why you're grateful for something. You don't have to say why you're grateful for it, but if it just flows out, then it just flows out. Let it flow out. But don't waste your time on that. You don't have to explain to anybody why you're grateful to have the G2 Pilot pen. For me, it's because I think it's the best pen. 0.35, best freaking pen. But it's just a pen, and you might say it's just a pen, but that's a pen that took so many steps to come into existence and to be in your life, and it's worth being grateful for. So don't waste your time thinking about, if it doesn't flow, don't worry about it. And don't not list things just because you think that they're like less valuable to your life than other things. You should be grateful for every single thing in your life experience. So you can list anything. It reminds us that we're so blessed, and that there was a time in existence where pretty much nothing we interact with on a daily basis existed. So it's worthy of being grateful. The next tip is that if you're kind of like struggling with starting this, you could come up with a few sets in your mind, like a set of rooms in your house that you could mentally flow through and list things, or you could have a set of life categories in your mind that you can flow through and list things, or whatever. You can come up with a few different types of sets in your mind to get you started, and then let stream of consciousness take over as well. But if looking at the thing in front of you isn't quite enough, then if you start with rooms in your house, you could start with the kitchen, and then in the kitchen, well, I'm sure you're grateful that your refrigerator keeps your food cold. I'm sure you're grateful there's food in there. I'm sure you're grateful for the cupboards that hold the food and the food that's in there as well, and for the flavors of the food that you get to enjoy when you've cooked them. On and on and on. So sets are really helpful, I think, sometimes when you just are not feeling how to get into the flow. Once you get into the flow a few times, though, you'll be fine. And the next tip, which is one of my favorites, is to incorporate your 5 senses, because it helps you like embody the feeling, and it makes you feel grateful for the thing even when you're not saying I'm grateful for it because blank. So like I've done this before in a gratitude rampage where I was talking about my kids and I'm grateful for my kids, and I would say something like, I'm grateful for the softness of their hair when they're falling asleep on me, and I'm grateful for the weight of their body, the way the weight of their body feels as they rest on me. Or I'm grateful for the smell of my daughter's hair because she's still a little bitty baby and she's got the smell. And I'm grateful for the sound of their laughter. And so touching on your five senses, you could take one blanket and say, I'm grateful for my blanket on my bed. And you could times it by 5. I'm grateful for the softness of my blanket or the texture of my blanket. I'm grateful for the smell of the blanket because it was just washed or whatever. I'm grateful for the feeling of the weight of it on my body. I'm grateful for the warmth that it provides me. What else do we got? I'm grateful for the colors, the design on it that makes my home feel more like me. Sight, sound. Blankets don't really make sound, but you get the point. You can amplify this by like 1,000 times over if you use your 5 senses. And again, if it just flows, let it flow. And if it feels like you're trying to find these things, then don't bother with it. The point is to get into a flow, a gratitude rampage flow. And then the very last important tip is, do not criticize yourself for how you do this. Okay? Do not criticize yourself for any part of this. Do this with joy. And when you start to feel frustrated because maybe you're struggling to get in the flow or whatever, just take a break, take a breather. Practicing gratitude should feel good. It shouldn't feel like work. It shouldn't feel frustrating, and it shouldn't bring you down. So please do not criticize yourself. Don't criticize yourself when you get stuck. Don't criticize yourself when you need to come back to small items again. Don't criticize yourself for having to follow sets. And don't criticize yourself if you can't think about all the different 5 senses and how each item applies to that. Don't, just for the love of God, do not criticize yourself, okay? This is supposed to be enjoyable. You're supposed to be done with this and feel like you just took like an emotional shower, okay? Coming out clean, grounded, and refreshed. So that's what I got. That is the process, the gratitude rampage. I hope that you try it. I hope that you enjoy it. And even if your mind is telling you it's not going to work, I know how that is. My mind tells me a lot of things aren't going to work, and a lot of the times it's right. But I really encourage you to just try it, like on your drive to work or whatever. Just literally just try it. Just start with like the steering wheel. Like, I'm grateful for the steering wheel that allows me to drive this vehicle, and I'm grateful for this vehicle that gets me to and from work and to all the other places I need to go. I'm grateful for the technology that created this vehicle, and for the fact that I was born in a time frame where vehicles even exist, and I'm not on my 2 feet walking miles and miles and miles or on a horseback carriage. I'm grateful for the paved roads. I'm not driving on a dirt road. I'm grateful that all 4 of my tires are intact, and I'm grateful for the job I'm on my way to. I'm grateful for the team that I work with. I'm grateful for etc., etc., etc. It's not going to be easy the first time maybe, but I really encourage you to just try it on your next drive to work, or the next time you're in the shower, or whatever. I really, really would love for you to try it and come back to the comments and let me know how it went. So hopefully that helps somebody in the world. It's helped me a lot. And I appreciate you being here. If you have watched this far, you're incredible and amazing. And I am so freaking grateful for you. Seriously. If you want to find your way back to the forest, make sure you subscribe. And if you liked this video, you can like the video. And if you want to join in on some conversation in the comments, go ahead, drop a few seeds in the comments, and we will water them and watch them grow. Right now, this channel is brand new, and I have no reason not to reply to every single comment, so that is what I will be doing. If you comment, you're going to hear back from me. Hopefully I don't get like some crazy freaking like thousands of comments by some miracle, because that would be tough, but that's unlikely. So, we're playing the slow game. Or the long game. Yeah, we're playing the long game. So, yeah, that's all. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.